Hey guys, welcome back. We are back with some more Paladin Strike. I am Sobash, and in this video we are going to talk about how to frontline. Now I've seen a lot of you guys just running out there kind of clueless, not knowing what to do, so we're going to give you some tips and pretty much cover all the frontlines that are currently out in the Paladin Strike 1.0 patch. So first off, I want to talk to you guys about objectives. When you are playing frontlines, you have one main objective. You are to stay mainly in the front of the group. You don't ever want to move alone. Always make sure you have somebody, either a healer or another damage or flank close to you. That way, if somebody does engage, you've got the upper hand. Also, when you do go in, you take and capture your points, okay? You wipe out an entire team. You as a frontline, you should be the first, and I mean the very first person to step up above the bush going up towards the choke point. You need to be going up there. You need to be blocking these guys off and kind of just pinching them, because you're more than likely going to have some form of range with either someone like Ruckus, Ashe, Terminus. You're going to have the dash, so you can go in there, harass people. Just make sure you have help with you. You don't ever want to move alone. Next, I want to talk about utilizing your shielding. Just about every champion in the game as a frontline, they have some form of shielding or something that can help their team out in a very serious clutch situation. So Fernando, for instance, his actual ability is called shield. So if you need to push up to a point, if you need to push up a lane to push the payload up to the point, you can utilize that shield to soak up some of the damage in front of your team. Also be aware, like I said, body blocking. If someone is low, you see them running into a point, try to body block them, try to get in front of the shots where they're coming from. You're a tank, you're more than likely going to have some other form or way to be able to accumulate that ultimate. That way you can use it from just taking damage. Now Berek does have a shield as well called Barricade. Very simple. It sets out, utilize that shield. That shield can take a ton of shots. And do remember, guys, people only have 3 shots before they have to reload or wait to reload. So do be aware of that. So those shields can come in handy by utilizing what damage they can soak up or absorb. Next, we have Makoa. I mean, he has a shell shield. Same difference. He can be hurt while he's still in it, of course, but there's very few champions that can do that. And he utilized that. He's mobile. It's a mobile shield. Utilize that when it is up. You stay behind him. If you see somebody getting low, pop that shield, help them out. Play that as a team. Don't play that shell shield just as a survival mechanic just for yourself if you're playing frontline. That is a huge factor with Makoa. Also, we have Ruckus. He has an ability called Emitter. It puts a shield on himself. If you see somebody low, pop that shield, run in front of them. You're going to want to use that shield pretty much every time. That shield also has a slow built into it. So if enemies are close and you see somebody just pop up out of nowhere, pop that shield. It's going to slow them down, and it's going to help your teammates be able to get on that person, because they are not going to be able to move as fast. After that, we have Ashe with Siege Shield. Siege Shield's a little bit different mechanic of a shield. It's a shield, but when you drop it out, it moves. Now, with the moving mechanic, it can't go through walls. So if you play it on corners, you can actually turn this shield from a mobile shield to an immobile shield. So do be aware of that if you're playing Ashe as a frontline. Ashe has a very good kit for shielding as well. We'll talk about that some more in just a second. And lastly, for shielding, Terminus. Terminus does have a way to shield people. It's his power siphon. It lasts for like 4 seconds. He can absorb all the damage, and that's where he gets his calamity from, to shoot out and do the basic attacks with them. It can change a huge fight. He can absorb that damage similar to what Androxus can with his reflect, except it doesn't shoot it back. He actually turns it into attack that he can do later. Now, moving on past the shielding, we have the ultimates. These are the biggest things out of the front lines that can change the entire game, which way it's going. You can wipe an entire team out with these. And first off, let's talk about Fernando's Immortal. Now, a really good time to use this is when you're going in to capture a point, when you're trying to hold off that payload right there at the end to capture that payload. Places like this, these are the best times to use these. For instance, you go in, all 5 of you guys are on the payload pushing up, and you pop that, nobody is going to be able to drop under 1500 HP for 5 seconds. So basically you're invincible for 5 seconds and your whole team is right there with you. You can still attack as well. So that is super strong. Just utilize it in a proper manner instead of a 1v1 situation, whether it's just make use of these certain situations of where to use them. Next, Berek with his dome shield. Now this one can be played in several different dirty ways. Dome shield can be used to capture a point by completely keeping your enemies off of it and away from it, because you can't enter it if you're not inside of it. So that's a huge play right there. It can be used to kill somebody. Literally, if he captures a bunch of people on it, they're just there. They're not going to be able to go anywhere. So do be aware of how Berek's ultimate does work as well. Makoa with his Ancient Rage, it's not much of a shielding or a big shield to help keep your team alive. It's you can body block more, you become bigger, you gain 2000 more HP for 8 seconds, and you do 1250 damage when you swing at people. So they're going to be running away from you. That'll give your team a chance to either gather back up, heal up, and push back into that fight again. Now Ruckus, he has got something that pretty much no other champion, or actually the frontline champions, can utilize very well, which is a long range ultimate that is super deadly. If he catches an entire group in Hexafire, he can clear an entire point like that and win a game by himself. So do be aware of that. Your Hexafires, use them on certain situations. Try to go with different angles as well to keep people from flushing in or out of points as well. You'll learn the different mechanics of how it works, and you can move with it as well from left to right. So that's super helpful. And speed ups, we'll talk about that eventually as well. Pip, he can be super helpful with the Ruckus. Now with Ashe, her ultimate is going to play into this a little bit different. She has one called Assert Dominance. So now when she hops in with Assert Dominance, she stabs her flag down and she becomes basically invulnerable for 6 seconds. Now when she does land, she knocks enemies up, so that can give you an opportunity as you are able to move and they aren't for just a split second when you hit there, and then you still have 6 seconds of invincibility when you are there. Now do be aware, after that 6 seconds is gone, you hopefully have needed to kill all of them when you use it. But that can be effective as far as taking points, capping payloads, things like that can be super helpful for you. And lastly, with Terminus, he has Reanimate. Reanimate can be a game changer as well. You have the option to detonate that. It's a 2.5 second delay, so you have those 2.5 seconds to opt to detonate it. Now when it does go off, they will see the reanimation of it, but if they are on the point, if you are trying to cap a point, this can come into play, as they're not going to want to stay in that, because that is a 2000 damage ultimate that they're going to soak up if they do. So do be aware of that. And other than that, guys, you're going to have to utilize some other things. I would say like Ashe. Ashe has her shoulder bash. Now you can knock people into the drink, as Grims would say, or you can use it to knock people off points. It can come into play in so many different ways. It does damage, 400 base, and then 800 if you charge it all the way up. So do be aware of that. Ashe is one of the, I would say, higher up tier front lines currently. And of course, Makoa, he can be a big game changer as well with his Dredge Anchor. His Dredge Anchor not only goes in and hooks someone, but it hooks the lowest HP person. So it's almost going to be hooking the easiest kill every time he hooks somebody with that. So do be aware of that if you're playing front lines, playing Makoas. You want to play these frontline supports, guys, try to learn a little bit more about them. If you have any more questions about any of this, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. And yeah, if you have any more suggestions on what we should do next, whether it be support, damage, flank, or just single out a certain champion and go over a specific guide on it, feel free to let me know, guys, because this is a lot of information to cover in one specific video. As you've seen, just touching on a couple of things through 6 different front lines, it nearly took almost an entire video, and it's longer than I normally do them. So make sure you guys let me know what you want to see. Maybe we can get some shorter guides out on specific champions. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this video, guys. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on, and leave a like on this video, as it does help us out a lot. But with that being said, folks, thank you again so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. I am Soulbash. You guys have a nice day.